Right, here we are. I made it. Just check everything's alright. I'm 5 minutes into the match and start. Still in that stream. Right, where are we? Is this working? It is. Right, I made it. Turn that brightness up. Right, I've got to ball it, so I'm trying to rush. Right, let's put this rig on. Yeah, right. So you joined me on the River Thames this morning. And I'll go through the rigs and stuff in a minute. I just need to put some balls of ground bait in. I'm going to ball it today. Just want to get my line in. And some balls of ground bait. Oh. No worries. Right, where are we going? There. Fish it on the pole and I'm going to fish it on the pole feeder, and I've got a feeder just in case none of that's working. Right, where are we? How's that picture? Is that alright, or is that a little bit suspect? Maybe it's alright. So here we are, club match, River Thames. I'm fishing Sutton Courtenay stretch of water today, and I will just go through the rigs. While I will let that settle, I am fishing a couple of rigs today. So first rig, 2 gram Daiwa Carper Gloucester float. It's on a blue hydro. It's on a I don't know what it's on. What's it on? 013 main line to 011. Let's have a look then on the rig. Come down. I've got a little Olivet and some shots, 2 droppers, and 6-inch hook length, size 18 Guru hook. I've also got set up my new Winter River Found friend. I've got trusty pole feeder set up, and that's on a black hydro, 8-pound Daiwa ST. I've got, what's that, a 40 gram Preston feeder to a Preston pre-tied hook length, which is 017 down to a size 14 or 12, I think that is. What's that? Maybe that's yeah, size 12 on an 017, and I've got a feeder rod set up. Very simple cage feeder, 8-pound Daiwa ST down to a 50 gram cage feeder, couple of number 6s to stop it, and then a 1 meter hook length, pre-tied again, Preston 015 down to a size 14. That's what I've got. I don't really know what I'm fishing for today, because I don't know if there's any silvers to catch. So it's a little bit unknown. I'll start on the float. I'll have a few runs through. If there's some fish there, I think that they'll soon show. And if not, I'll switch to the pole feeder. And then if not, I'll fish the feeder. I think that's the plan today. Just need to trim that hook length a little bit. Rushed again today. can settle down. Right. You can see the river. Only double maggot. You can just let me know that the quality's alright. Just give me a hi in chat. That'd be great. Just let me know. I'd appreciate that. Right. Let's get this going. Fishing at 13 metres today. Comfortable. There's a lot of boat traffic today down the river. Got canoeists out. Right, let's see. As I said, I don't know really what I'm fishing for. I don't know if there's roach to catch. That's a bite, and I don't think that's a roach. Or if it is, it's a good roach. There might be actually. There's a blue hydro I've got in it. So I'll have that. Bite first chuck. Very happy with that. Bite first chuck on the river in the match. Look like a chub to me. Oh, have it. Right. Oh, if you could see my face, I'm going to smile to that camera. I'm absolutely chuffed. It's a pound all day long. I wasn't planning on catching that on the pole line. Look at that. In there, fella. Oh, madam. Right. Oh, that's a turn up, isn't it? Just balled it. You've seen me ball it. I've gone over it. All that bait that's in that ground bait, I'll go through that in a minute. And I've had a bite straight away. Right, that rig is going to annoy me. It's rolling around. Right. I was saying to some people earlier, I tried to catch some chub. For the last 2 sessions, I fished about 8 or 9 hours combined on the river, and I've blanked. And I've come here today, fishing a match, drawn a peg, as you do. Never fished it before. I fished further up this stretch. I've no idea what I was going to catch today, and I've had a chub first chuck. Right. Come on, have some friends. That's probably my one and only fish now for the day. It's quite pacey. Got a 2 gram float on. I can up it to a 3. Just going to run this through, as you do, just a sort of river pace. Today I might end up on the polefeeder, just because how awkward the wind is going to be. Right, I run it through river pace, fishing just off the bottom. I've plumbed it up. It's universal all the way through the peg here. Right. See if he's got any friends. They're hiding. Let's try and slow it down a little bit. That's funny, that is. First chuck, chub. After putting six balls I put in? And in that ground bait, I've got 250ml of caster, 150ml of hemp, 100ml of dead maggot, and 100ml of dead pinky. So there was plenty of loose offerings in there. So I find that funny that that chub decides straight away that it's my bait that it wants. It is a bit quick, this river, I think. I'm going to try and slow this one right down. Just going to run it through really slowly. I wonder if it's going to be, could be better on the flat float. Run through that. Well, it doesn't look very roachy, does it? A lot of people chuck a feeder out today, but with the amount of boats that we're going through earlier, I'm not sure that's what I want to do. It's definitely too pacey, I think, for this float. I'm going to put that chub down to a good old bit of luck. I think I'm going to do this for a bit more, and then I think I might put that pole feeder out. And for 3 gram floats can help. Morning, Garth. I had a chub first chuck. Good pound and a half. It's just a bit too quick. That's a bite though. Oh no, it's not a bite, that's the bottom. Oh. That one there. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh me, dear, oh me. It's alright, got away with that. Just checking that hook's alright, it's fine. Yeah, it's going a bit too fast for this float. I've got bigger ones with me. I brought the tray today so I can up it. I don't actually know how much difference it makes by putting a 5 gram float on compared to a 2 gram float on a river. I genuinely don't know. I'm not that experienced in river fishing to know if it would make a difference or not. But I'm expecting, if there is roach to be had, other silvers, I expect to catch them pretty quick. I've had a chub first chuck, and I think, what have I had, 10 runs through, something like that, varying speeds with no other bites. Now I'm very happy to put that pole feeder out and sit there for more chub, if that's what we're going to catch today. So I will have a few more runs. I need to come and practice down here for a day, that's the thing. I need to come and practice fishing with different floats and seeing what the difference is. I've been stocking up over the years, so I've got the things that I need. I just need to learn a little bit more about how the floats behave and what that difference can have to my fishing. Right, let's try and hold it back. Back through that where I put that ground bait in. Nothing. Another one through at river speed. Okay, I think I'm going to have one more chuck. And I'm going to put the feeder in. The pole feeder, that is. Look at that wind gust. Wow. It wasn't meant to be this gusty. The forecast wasn't this. Right. Run. He says. Right, put that aside. Morning, Neil. I had a chub first chuck. I balled it, Neil, and I balled it, went over it. First run down through, float goes under, bosh, chub, about £1.5. but it's running a bit too fast, and I've just had about a dozen run-throughs for no other bites. So I am going to come off. I'm going to switch to ground bait. Sorry, the pole feeder. And I'm going to see if I can catch some of the chub. I just need to switch a few things. Got some caster. Right. I've got a lot of confidence in this pole feeder now. I haven't fished it a few times. Fish a dendrobina and a pinky lump of worm, a little pinky topper, I'm trying to settle down. It's a bit more windy than I was expecting. Me a few issues with my setup. So I'll fish this on 5-minute. Casts, I think. Alright, everything right with that? Yeah. In you go. Just change this camera angle, and then hopefully you can still get a decent view of the river. And higher, I guess. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, let's try and do 5 minutes. Plug the phone in, turn the brightness down. Time is now what? 9:58. So we've had half an hour. Let's turn that down. Oh, that wind is going to be a pain today, I think. It's too much of a pain. I'll just have to chuck the feeder out. So, oh yeah, thanks Neil. Yeah, hit that like button if you're watching. It helps with the visibility of the stream. I think I'm going to just lift this. Rest up slightly. Maybe that doesn't matter actually. As long as I've got hold of it, I can feel the bites. Okay, that's a fish. I can feel the pole thumping back towards the left. Right, this is black hydro, so oh, it's come off. Oh, God, that's another chub there. But it's all positive. Right, can I get that? Gosh, fishing in the wind. Go away, wind. Need to go and rescue that top kit. Unplug that. Keep going there, isn't it? That's better. Okay, so we've had one chub. I've definitely just missed a chub or a big perch. Let's get back out there. I just love the way that swings down like a pendulum. I do like it. Right, let's get that in there. Get that pole there. Right, let's have another fish or another bite. That would be most helpful. Right, let's have it quickly. Come on, fish. So I've got the wind blowing from, the river flows from right to left. The wind's blowing from left to right. And it's gusting quite hard, and based on the gusts it must be 30-ish mile an hour gusts. And now based on the wind I would say, look at that, I would say that it's 15 mile an hour wind now. I've got that boat gang going down the river, which means they're going to come back up the river up my side. Just going to move that over to the left, I think. Right, 5 past. So yeah, everything now is about, you know, I'm fishing by touch, as you would say. I've got the pole in my hands, so if I get a good fish and it pulls on the rig, I'll be able to feel it. And that one just before, I felt it and I saw it. It pulled the pole tip round. It was a serious bite. I might have to change to a heavier feeder because the amount this pole's getting blown around in these gusts. Now the way this rig works is there's a piece of elastic towards the top of the rig, so when the fish pulls, it doesn't pull against the elastic in the pole, it pulls against the elastic on the line, which is fixed with a couple of beads, which is much softer, so the fish don't feel the resistance as much. However, when this pole gets pushed to the right in these gusts, I can't help but think that it ends up moving the feeder and the rig. Now, I'm not even sure that's a bad thing as I'm saying it, because it's not as if it's a method feeder, is it? But I might change it to a 55 gram feeder, so when it gets blown the other way, maybe it pulls the elastic more, I don't know. Actually, I think it probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter. Morning, everybody. You join me, what are we now? Half an hour into my Sunday club match on the River Thames. I've had one chub, about £1.5. I had that on the pole, running a float through on the first put-in after I balled it. I've just lost the fish on the pole feeder, on the worm and a fluoro pinky. So I think that's the end of any thought of having any roach today. I think it's going to be a big fish match. Which is fine by me. I kind of like this method. If I don't kind of like it, I do like it. So I'll fish this 5-minute cast. I'll keep putting casters. That's a bite. That's a fish, but I don't think it's a big fish. Just saying what I said. What's that? That's looking like a bream. Trying to get used to this pole feeder in the river. I think the skill is play the fish a little bit upriver, and then move a position to net them. I've got 5 sections of pole in my hand. I've got a big old feeder on, 40 grams. I've got a tree to my right. And I've got my, yeah, it's a bream. And I've got my extension on my landing net, so I've got my landing net at the max. And I should just be able to reach and net that fish. Oh, what's going on there? It's the wind. Right. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lesson. Oh. Right. So I'm not going to net them like that. Oh, I'm having a year of learning about these fish and catching fish on the river. And I can guarantee you, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Anyway, I got the fish, and that's all that matters. Let's just put it there. That's funny. The wind just got hold of the pole as I was trying to net the fish, and then I've put too much weight on the pole, on the landing net, hence the reason it went crack. Wind. It's making things a little bit awkward. Right. Hold on a second. That's got to go in a different place because the wind is catching that, so that can go down there. I think that's now safe. Too sure that that's not stress free. I'm not sure I've not fractured that part of the landing net now. Don't know. Find out later. I think we're all good. No, Neil, I'm not editing it. That's what it's all about, right? There's the realism to the channel. I'm not going to the only edit I'm going to do for that, Neil, is I'm going to edit into a short. Anyway, I've had a bream. So I've had a chub. I've had a bream that's probably 2.5 pounds. Might be 3. I've got 4 pound in the net. And I've been very confident if I go out again I'm going to get another one. So same again, worm, topped with a fluoro pinky. Let's put a couple of maggots in. My son's going to love watching this edit. How'd you get on, Dad? Yeah. You know that extension bit for the landing net? That's gone. But I caught a bream doing it. Good bite though. We're messing about. Bream's got hold of it. And a very clear and positive. Now I've just got to hope I'm not going to smash my top kit now with oh, what's happened there? Hope I don't don't smash my top kit swinging this out. That would be unfortunate. Although I've got a grey hydro with me, so all would not be lost. I do need to raise this bump bar slightly though. Remind me when I bring it back, I've got to raise the bump bar. 5 minutes. 1/4 past. I'll settle down in a minute to a nice rhythm. Just move that a fraction. Right, that goes there. See how that is.
Let's get the legs on.
Right. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let's catch another one. No, I can't. If you'd see it, you'd understand why I'm saying no. I want to make that bump bar slightly lower now, it's a bit too high. I've got to get it right with the wind. I'd set it and then it wasn't right for the wind. And that seems a bit off. So I want it a little bit lower to the water. Gusts are horrible if I can't settle down with the pole and get it right. I'm going to have to chuck the feeder there, which is not a problem, but I'd much rather fish like this when it's this distance, only because I can be, you know, so much more accurate than I can with chucking a feeder. So it's not hard, it's not a big chuck, it's a fish. That was on a smaller bit of worm. It's another bream, I think. Yeah, it's another good fish. Nice little bite as well. Ding, 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 ding. That's gone a bit more solid. Now, I've got to work out how to do this effectively. Now I've got a short landing net, a lot of pole. Maybe I need to actually take a section off, and then I can change the angle. Yeah, change the angle, get the fish to get it set up, and I can come through this gap here in the trees. That's it. That's it. Come on. Bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more. Yeah. Get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Come on. See that? Nice bream that. Despite my challenges, fishing's great. Right. Ooh, this is awesome. Right, reduce that down just a tad, that whole rest. It's probably not enough, but I'll do it a little bit then, and I'll do it a little bit more. Next one. So you can't see it, but I've got a big tree to my right. I'm fishing in a section that's called the woods. It's where the match is today. And I've got a heavy rig on, fishing this pole feeder. And so it's a bit unwieldy, and the wind is making it even more unwieldy. But it says I've had one chub on the pole, and now I've had 2 bream on the pole. I'm feeling very happy about the situation. So, get that over there, and that there. Let's get out again. As I was saying just a second ago, I'm sure you know, many people watch this and think, you know, she just fished the feeder, mate. I'm fishing at 13.5 metres, and the reason I don't want to fish the feeder at 13.5 metres is I can be so much more accurate fishing this pole feeder. So much more accurate. So, here we go again. Right, what's the time? 24 minutes past. Let's catch another bream. Come up to 1 hour into the match then. I've had 2 bream that, let's say, they're somewhere between £2 and £3 each. So let's say it's £5 in the net. And a chub, £1.5. So £6.5. I didn't know what I was going to fish for today. Was I going to fish for roach. What was it going to be? I didn't really know. But it looks, I said then it might be a big fish game match. There's another one. Alright, look at this. I was doing this for 5 hours. And £100. And I've got 2 nets with me. I think I might need them at this rate. I'm sure all my fellow competitors will tell me it's because I'm on the end peg, but I don't really see why this peg would be any different to others. Yeah, so I can come that way and I can just put it backwards, I think, and slide them in. By the way, if anyone wonders, I've got a spare landing net if I snap this whole thing. I always carry a spare net, smaller fish that is. So that one's £2. That's a £2 fish. Like that worm with Pinky, didn't you, mate? Wow, maybe £1.50. I nearly dropped you, so you can go back in there. Can someone just write in chat 8? I'm trying to remember the weight. I'm going to forget. I'm chatting to everybody. In fact, I'm going to write 8 in the chat. Thanks, Dennis. Right, I'm going to write in the chat 8. So that works then. Break the pole at the number 4, and then I can tilt the pole behind my head to net the fish. It's just really tricky because of the wind, which, if you've been here for a while, you've heard me say loads of times, but just in case you haven't, it's really awkward with the wind. And I'm just wondering now, if I'm having this many, you know, I've had 3 bream and a chub. I put 6 balls of ground bait in. Do I need to top it up? And if I need to top it up, when do I top it up? Because I haven't got a clue. Oh, that's a bit of a mess. This is about accuracy. Catch a fish every 5 minutes. That's a reasonable amount of ground bait that's going in, but not a lot. It's only a small feeder. It's a big river, and there are some big shoals of bream in this river. In the 3-day Thames festival this year, further to my left, which is, you know, still in this section actually, not today, but further down to my left, which is in this section that we call Colour Reach. On the Thames Festival, the section was one with 96 pound of bream, which is down on the end peg 1. All the way to my right, sort of 2 sections of the river up. John Arthur had 45 pound, I think it was, on day 1. There's plenty of bream in this part of the Thames. and they're a good stamp as well. Right, there's that boat that's went past. I've got enough time to get a bite. Come on. So I do wonder if I should chuck a couple of balls in it, you know, on the hour, or whether that's a bad idea. If we look at the time, I'll do it by the time. So it's 10:31. If I haven't caught, if I go 30 minutes without a fish, I'll top it up. I think that might be the right thing to do. Let's work off that sort of principle. That's a bite. Yeah, good tip. Good job. Alright. So that's how long I'm giving myself. 30 minutes without a bite means I'm going to top it up with some balls of ground bait. I don't want to overdo it, you know. I don't have enough experience at this to be able to judge. Yeah, it's the thing. It's a simple method, this pole feeder. It's very simple. It's nice. Another £2 bream. Oh, don't go that way. Come in this little way here. Come on. I'll do this all day long. I do need one of them fancy clickers. You're right, I need one of them fancy matrix clickers. Can do the weight. It's got a stopwatch on it, and it's got a clock on it. You're right, that is what I need. There we go. Another £1.5, £2. Don't quite know which. I thought those people on that boat would come past. Now they're going to come through on my side of the road, as it were, and they come through in a minute. Peg, they're sort of just sitting down there to get a move on. Right, come on, get these people down here, mate. To get back out. So that's 8, let's say 9.5. Just down there, as soon as I put this, I've got the feeling as soon as I put this out, they're going to go for it. Oh, come on. I can see the little guide boat. Mate, do you want to hurry up? I can see them. They're right on my side of the river. Seeming the etiquette on the river is you go down the river on the right hand side, then up the river on the left hand side. I don't really which is a bit weird. I don't know why it doesn't go the same way as a road, but maybe it's an international boating thing. I don't know. I'll fall out with this fella now. It's alright, mate. Not even looking. Alright, my pole's not out. He goes past. You know, river's for everyone, right? But you've got to use the river respectfully, and you've got to know who else is on it. my other half, she goes open water swimming in this river. You know, if that fella's driving a boat, I hope he sees her. You know, she's got the required safety equipment. She's got a very bright hat. She has to have a little buoy, and maybe he's looking at the river and not the river bank. But he's come past us twice in the last hour, so it's not as if he doesn't know there's anglers here. And he goes all the way past, and then I think the person that's on the boat with him says something, and then he turns around. It's like, it's not a problem, mate, but can you keep your eyes out, you know, all the time? It's a river for everybody. Right. Yeah, it's not the rowers. You know, the rowers are, you know, the rowers are trying to learn to row competitively. You know, good on them. And then you've got rowers that are out for exercise, and good on them as well. You know, it's the guide boats that don't pay attention. I think maybe I'll clip the video and I'll go around and I'll see them nicely. Do you know what I mean? It's as I said, the river's for everybody. You've got to make sure you've got eyes of everyone that's around you. You know, it's not just for boats. Open water swimmers, kayakers, fishermen, pleasure boat anglers, dogs, you know. Right, I haven't made a note of the time. What's the time? 10:38. I might have had a bite a minute ago. Something's just topped here in front of me. What's that? What's topping in the river at this time of year? You know, that was short. Top 6, top 5. Maybe it's a pike having a look at what's in my keep net. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see what time was. Was it 38? Yeah, it was. I struck that. I don't know if that was a bite or whether that was the wind. I think the wind's just slightly turned around. boat is the Dink Mag 18. So, the joy of streaming. I can watch it back later. Right. 10:41, but my time is against 38 for the refeed. So I think that's a reasonable idea. I'll try and stick to 5 or 10 minute casts, and if I don't get a fish by 8 minutes past, I'll chuck another couple of balls in to refeed it. You know, I suspect that depending on how big that shoulder bream is, they could just come in, mop up everything and just disappear. You know, that's a real concern I've got. You know, it's £100 a bream and I'm putting in a feeder's worth of ground bait. So hello, Graham. But if it's only 5 bream, I don't know that I want to go nuts. Is changing direction. It's changing to blow a little bit more directly into my face. Which will mean it's a bit better for presentation, for sure. It's just such a nice method to fish this. You're just sitting there, pole's on the bump bar. I'm not holding the pole. It's a really comfortable distance if I was anyway, at 13 metres. And I'm just waiting to feel the thump thump of a bite. And there we go. You couldn't, you know, if it wasn't on the telly, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Not coming in so easy, this one. It's better fish. I've got no idea if there's a snag down to my left. There is a tree, and I'm thinking I just need to play this up a bit, actually, because there is a snag probably down there. So can you get your head up, please, fish? Okay, that's a bigger bream. That's worth. This isn't right, actually. This splitting the. Well, it's all right. It's all fine. The coat. Oh, that's not a £2 fish, is it? It's a £4 lump any day. It's a bit messy. Doesn't look too healthy on its back. £8 fish, I think. So where was I? 9. So I'll call you 13. Yeah. Well, I think I think, Dennis, you know, very similar to fishing on lakes, but that was before fish meal ground bait. Now, as it happens, I don't think that this what have I got in the ground bait? I've got census roach and census black river. I don't think there's any fish meal in that, so filling it in might be the right thing to do. But if I still get bites as quick as I get them, then I don't know that I'm going to do that, you know. Question is how long are these fish going to stay in my peg for? If there's a shoal, right? So we're at £13. Right, £13, and then I've fished. I can't remember how many I've had now. 5. That 13 might be £15. I put 6 balls in to start, and you know, when I was fishing, when I was having a coaching day, oh, look at that wind, leave it out. When I was having a coaching day earlier in the year, you know, the conversation was, you know, when the bites, you know, I was fishing for roach, you know, when the bites die off and it gets a bit harder, you know, that's the time to refeed. It wasn't refeed on the clock religiously, so I'm just going to reset the clocks, right? So it's 48, so I'll go to 28 without a bite, and then I'll definitely reball it. And no, that's wrong, 18, that's half an hour, right? And then I'll still stick to 5 or 10 minutes on this cast. It could be absolutely solid with bream down there, you could be right, you know. This might be the first time anyone's chucked ground bait in for months in this stretch, you know. This is one of those days where it's horrible weather, great fishing. I'll take it. So it may be that I just don't understand enough about this, and maybe if you catch this many fish this quick, then it's a guaranteed, you know, very highly likely that there's a load of fish in the peg, and you should put a load of bait in to keep them. And maybe what I'm gambling with here is the risk of losing the shoal. You know, I don't know. I'm wondering if I'm trying to talk myself into balling, putting some more bait out regardless. And I'm just trying to calculate in my mind what's the danger of doing it. I put 6 balls in. No, I missed that bite. 6 balls in to start. It's really blowing a gale. 6 balls in to start. I'm not sure that any of that bait could be left based on what I've caught. I'm putting some ground bait in with half a dozen caster, and then a pinch of fluoro pinky. It's not enough to keep a bream shovel in the Thames, and I see him with his landing net to my right, as if he's putting a fish in the net. So, if the fish are on my left, have they already moved past me to the next angler? Have I lost their attention as they look for food today? Or is just a stray one gone further up the river? Don't know. Right, clock's reset, 52. I think I'm going to put some balls in. If there's a load of fish, I've got a better chance of holding them. If they've gone up to the next peg, I've got a better chance of getting them back. And maybe I need to put them in to maintain my bites. But after the next fish, or 10 minutes, whichever comes quicker, I'm going to put another few balls of ground bait in. That feels like the right thing to do. So was it 53? Top of the hour then, I think. 7 minutes is quick enough, long enough for a bite. And the good thing about recording it is I'll know if it works, and I'll know if it doesn't work. I'll be able to look back on it when I'm in the same situation again and have a think about it. If you're fishing on the bomb and you're fishing 8mm pellets and you're fishing a carp venue and you start getting bites on the bomb, you definitely start increasing the feed. Get more fish in, more fish competing, faster bites. It's absolutely a thing. I don't know quite how it works on the river catching bream. But even now, because I've missed a bite, it seems like a really long time since I had a fish. So concentrate for 5 minutes. I'm not sure on the cupping it topic. You know, I did speak to a wise man who said that throwing is always better than cupping because it also helps to attract the fish with the noise. So I've had some advice that says always throw it. However, that's at the start of a session. Now we've got the situation that there may be fish there, and will cupping it, will balling it cause a disturbance. But I can't think that balling it will cause any more disturbance than the rowing boat going through. Right, with the paddles hitting the water. So I'm a bit torn on that one. I'm gonna throw them, I think. Seems like a long time for a bite now, doesn't it? Oh, that's just hilarious. That's hilarious. You don't realise I'm laughing because I've got a bite and I've got a fish on. Got to go to the right, and before I get to the tree I've got to start to bring the pole up. And then before I get to the second branch in the tree I've got to bring the pole up again. This one's thumping around. Another good bream, that is. No, not at all. No, I like the interaction, the chat. I'm not saying I'm not completely sold on what I've said, by the way. I'm trying to work it out. Do I cup it? Do I ball it? You know, cupping it is I can't put as big a balls in if I cup it. You know. Just got to try and think about all those. I definitely want to put some more bait in there. So I definitely don't want that stick. So let's just put this rig out, and I'm going to ball it. I'm going to ball it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I will learn to live. Like you said, I think there could be loads down there. Just got some more caster in there. If I don't have enough bait, I do think they'll leave. So, better be accurate with my balling. Happy with that. It's quite funny. I used to ball it when I was fishing the pole when I was a kid, you know, and then I haven't balled it for years because I haven't fished rivers and I haven't put in lots of bait. And now suddenly I'm balling it again. Right, so there's 3 balls I put in. Uh-oh. Right, so we're at 13. I want to say now that's another £4. Let's say it's £17. Those balls are bigger than they would have been if I was cupping them. It might cost me 5 minutes of doing it as well, which could be a £4 fish. There's a little bit of that. It's also quite tiring cupping at 13 metres in the wind, which is probably a serious factor. And if I don't do it, I'm not going to know, am I? I've done it now. Maybe that's the last fish I'm going to catch. And I might say, oh, I think I made a mistake there. Or it might be absolutely the right thing to do, and I'm going to find out soon. Good point, Terry. Good point. Could do that. Could increase the particles. So the grand debate is, if you're fishing the pole feeder, or the feeder for that matter, and you start getting fish, you catch a few, should you ever ball it? What was I on? 13. What did I say now? 18? I've lost track. Right, I'm saying 18. I'm saying 18. I don't know if it was 9 and then 13 or 13 to then, oh, I haven't got a clue now. I've had 2 fish and they're £4 each. And what did I put in the chat earlier? 8. £16. £16. So I need a clicker, right? I need to get to 500 subs, and I'll do a channel membership and raise funds for a matrix clicker, because I can't find a cheaper one that looks as good as theirs. See, if I was fishing for carp, you can you don't need a clicker, you can just do it with pellets on your side tray. It's easy. Right, I didn't even check the time. Right, what is it? 11:05. So that's the last of that ground bait's gone in that I made earlier. So that's 9 balls has gone in. 250mm of caster, 150mm of hemp, 100mm of dead maggot, and 100mm of dead pinky. What did I say that time was? 11:05. Every second that ticks by now without a bite, I'm like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, Neil was right, shouldn't have pulled it. I think it's fine. I'm not sure you can do any harm. The rig's made up on a top 4. I'd have to check how deep it is. I'm not going to let go of the pole now because that's how I know if I've got a bite or not. But the boat's coming back. Good time for a bite, fish. Good time for a bite, like right now. Yeah, there he comes. Here comes the boat. Now they're a bit further out in the river actually. Oh, it's kind of in the going for it. They're a bit further. They're a bit further out now. See, watch this, right? Right, look at that thing going along, right? Right. Right, now look at this geezer, right? Thinks he's down on the south coast doing some kind of speed event, right? And how much damage is that versus me balling it in terms of water disturbance? They're quite pacey as well, right? I assume that most people are just fishing a feeder. If you're not aware, Terry, I've not fished like this too often. Just the first sort of season, the first sort of matches in this stretch on this club water. So I don't know how much I've got to consider what's going on right now for what's going to happen. And I think the thing that changed my mind was I saw to the guy to the right, he put a fish in his net with his landing net. So the guy to my right's caught a bream or something of significance. So I just wonder if they've gone upstream because they've cleared me out of bait. So that was the sort of thing that made my mind up to put more bait in. Right. Anyway, right. Let's get back out. But welcome to the channel, Terry. Not seen you in before. And anyone else that is the first time, welcome to the fishing stream. You catch me, what are we, just after hour and 40 minutes into the match today. It's a standard 5-hour match, fishing 9:30 till 2:30. I'm on the River Thames, just outside of Abingdon at Cullum, and I'm fishing a Sunday club match with Sutton Courtenay Angling Society. I think there's 9-10 of us out today. The river's flowing a little bit too quick for the float, but perfect for the pole feeder. And I'm on the end peg today, peg 12, I think it is. And we're doing all right. I had a balled it with 6 balls to start with on this 13-metre line. I went over it with the pole float and I had a chub first put in. I had a bite and a chub, about £1.5, and then nothing for about 15-20 runs through after that. And the wind was getting a bit ugly, as it is now, right this second. So I thought I should switch to the pole feeder. If I didn't catch on that, then I would just chuck a feeder out into the middle of the river. But as it happens, I put the pole feeder out, had a bite, fish came off, don't know what it was, and then I went back out and then I've caught some bream. This wind is just being a bit awkward. It's switching between blowing from my left to right and blowing from directly in front of me. Just going to move that pole over one more, I think, for a minute. It's fishing the feeder to my right. I can hear it, just let it go in. And I've seen him put one fish in his net. He's keeping it with the landing net, so I assume it's a decent fish. I don't really know what he's doing. I'm not really watching because I'm watching the end of my pole and I'm focused on what I'm doing. But what's the time now? 11:15. I'll give it a few more minutes and I'll put it back out again. I'm fishing a worm and a fluoro pinky on the hook. Rig is a